CES is now over, and there is not a single brand or TV manufacturer that received a bigger win than Samsung. Now, I know what you must be thinking. Q, you told us about the firmware issues, so how is that possible? Well, smack a like on this video because I'm getting to the point right now. And the point is simply put, nothing on the consumer market today is beating QD-Oled. It is a fundamental fact. This isn't even opinion based. We're talking about the color throw, the black levels, the brightness now. We have a serious contender for the best TV of all time, literally of all time, coming forth this year. Now, and this is important to note because TCL is joining the QD-Oled fray. So now let's really look at what's happening here. We have QD-Oled coming from TCL, QD-Oled we know for a fact coming from Sony again this year, and QD-Oled from Samsung. Those are three of the major players in the game right now coming forward and saying, hey, we're making a QD-Oled and it's going to come in various sizes up to 77 inches and it's going to be able to get up to 2000 nits of peak brightness, which means, again, overall, your ability, your budget to dip into higher brightness at maybe brighter scenes or maybe lower lit scenes is going to be greater, of course, leading to more explosive expression. I think a good scene to refer to is that scene in the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie where Groot releases the Fireflies. Scenes like that are going to come alive on a QD-Oled. You know, the Tron cycle scene, you know, where they're doing the battle for the grid, that is incredible on QD-Oled. These kinds of things can't be done on something like mini LED. There's no doubt. Hisense is dominating as far as value this year and mini LED from what we've seen so far on paper, but there is a doubt as to how they can keep up. Let me just kind of say this outright. I don't care if they offer 100,000 zones of mini LED. You still cannot compete with over 8 million independently dimmable zones, and that, my friends, is the takeaway here. Because truthfully, when we really look at it at face value, that's what it's going up against. Not only are these zones dimmable independently, but now they're able to push out over 2000 nits of brightness. That's huge. So I know a lot of people are talking about immediately the next competitor in the OLED game. Well, I mean, LG with their MLA technology, fantastically gathering the light and shooting it back at the viewer, gets up to 2000 nits as well, or close to it. But there's a problem. It's still WOLED, and that means that the colors aren't going to be anywhere near as vibrant as you're going to have on those Sonys, TCLs, and Samsung QD-Oled options this year. That means you're already buying outdated technology because LG this year decides that they're not going to take the knee just yet. They want to see how QD-Oled looks. When LG decides to get on the Quantum.OLED train, you will see just how left behind you truly are. Because make no mistake about it, they will eventually concede once all of their other competitors are offering it, the same way Samsung had to concede and go OLED. It's just a matter of timing. And I think if you're smart about this thing, you're going to really buy Quantum.OLED versus putting your money on something like mini LED technology, which is just a slight enhancement to full array technology. Let's be real. Don't matter what you look at, mini LED technology still has viewing angle challenges, and there's still going to be some sort of bloom in some sort of area. And again, it's not for everyone, right? Not everybody wants that. Some people want that like really deep, really lavish picture quality that QD-Oled offers. I am one of the biggest, I would say, promoters, if you will, out of just sheer enthusiasm as an owner of like QD-Oled. There is nothing like it. I have seen TVs, as you guys know, for years and years, and nothing has ever produced the color purity, the beauty of the brightness and the highlights and all that stuff. And my message is just buy any QD-Oled you want, whether it's Sony, Samsung, TCL, doesn't matter this year, and keep it offline. You win. But that, again, ultimately translates to Samsung Display with their QD-Oled technology and their panels that they're giving to everybody. They take the ultimate win because they're now pioneering the new age, the next level of OLED technology. These next-gen OLEDs are legit. It's just Samsung needs to work on their mindset as far as how they treat their customers, because people can easily now just jump ship and get the same viewing experience on, oh, I don't know, a Sony or a TCL. Now, Sony still has their problems as well. As you guys know, motion has been a massive talking point for years off this channel, and it's going to continue because I don't see Sony kind of taking feedback. And in fact, it's quite the opposite. They said, you know, we're us, so we don't even need to show up at CES this year. Instead, enjoy our vehicle, the Afila. It's kind of lame, but that's their choice. Now, of course, we haven't heard anything from Vizio, but I really don't expect them to put a dent in anything Hisense offers with, again, the U6 series, their budget most model, going for, again, we expect $499 to be the price point like we've seen. And to have mini LED on that, it's kind of game over, right? And now some people are concerned about the 60 hertz panel. I'll tell you off of experience alone, every time there's a 60 hertz panel, motion is usually better than when they try to force 120 hertz on domestic type content like movies or gaming and stuff like that. Like if you're doing like crazy NASA level programs, or if you're doing like, PC gaming with like, multiple GPUs on a NASA level rig, maybe. But if you're just using the graphics cards on the market right now, you aren't touching like 144 hertz reliably in 4K or any of that stuff. And I think that's what we need to kind of take into account. I saw there was a monitor that gets up to 540 hertz. Nobody is playing at 540 hertz in 2023. It is just they're putting it in there, much like back in the day when they had 960 hertz in plasma TVs. Nobody was ever getting that. It's just something they do because they know it sounds good and you hear better motion and you jump at it. But it's a bunch of fake frames that you'll never ever get to. And in that case, it's a refresh rate you'll never touch. So by the time you ever could touch it, it'd be time to upgrade again anyway. Now, that being said, all of this together, it kind of boils down to really the biggest winner at CES being Samsung. There are a lot of changes happening in technology, and it is so very exciting, and I'll be covering it every step of the way. But I want to hear from you. What do you think is the winner and why? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. The #1 brand in honesty. Till the next video, I'll see you guys later.